Here are 9 jaw-dropping mistakes that buyer's agents make every single day. I see them all the time that will kill sales and terminate agreements, that will torch their reputation with future potential clients, and that literally leave homes wide open. The first one is poor communication. And when I say poor communication, I'm not just talking about getting back to people. I'm talking about an agent seeing a phone number and automatically texting it without checking to see if it's a cell phone. This happens all the time. I get messages, hey, I texted your office line that's listed in the MLS. Well, hey, newsflash, that's a landline. It does not accept text messages. If you would have picked up the phone and called, we would have gotten a voicemail and we could get back to you right away. There are so many instances where we get emails from buyer's agents or they send them to their clients and they're written in all caps. It's gibberish. Sentences aren't formed properly. Writing professionally is a skill. And when you do dumb things like texting numbers randomly instead of picking up the phone and assuming someone's not getting back to you, this happened to me twice in the past 4 days. Hey, I sent you a bunch of text messages. Well, it doesn't say that's my cell phone, so you might want to actually call the number. I know real estate agents don't like to pick up the phone. This can cause you to lose sales. What if the text was, hey, we're writing an offer, we need a couple days, and the message never goes through because they texted an office line? Imagine how your client's going to feel when you have to explain that to them. That is bad business. Pick up the phone and actually communicate someone. There's an app on here. It's actually the one with the green icon that has the phone on there, and you can dial the number. Stop texting right away. Start calling people. Use the right channels of communication, and make sure you sound like a professional. Make sure the email's addressed properly. Make sure that the sentence is formed properly, because that stuff goes a long way in offer presentation, in client interaction, and agent-to-agent interaction. The more professional you are with your communication, the more responsive you are in the right ways, the better results you're going to get for your clients. So stop having bad communication skills. That's number 1. Number 2, this is so disrespectful to homeowners. Not locking up the home, lack of care, leaving lights on, or sometimes even worse, using the bathroom and not flushing the toilet. This happens all the time when you have a listing that buyer's agents, they don't instruct their clients properly that, hey, you're going into somebody's home and you want to go in there and really treat it with some care and some respect. But invariably, buyer's agents will not check to make sure all the doors are locked. They will not turn off the lights. They won't secure the property, and they don't even think twice about it. And imagine if you're in a competitive offer situation and you're bidding against somebody else, and you've got one agent who left feedback. We'll get into that in a second. They left their card like they're asked to. They locked the doors properly. And you got another agent who left the house wide open and left closet doors open and all sorts of stuff. Well, guess what? The seller may just pick the first buyer out of spite. It's happened before. So when you leave homes wide open, you treat them like they're just some place you're going in and out of. That's so disrespectful to the homeowner, and it also could cost you some business. So that's mistake number 2. Mistake number 3 is the lack of preparation at showings. And what I'm talking about is looking up comparable sales information, knowing what's sold in the neighborhood, knowing how long this has been on the market, having maybe a sheet of notes where you write down how big the property is or what they bought the home for, or any pertinent data you need to know, because there's going to be questions that come up at the showing. And when you're walking your clients through and you say things like, hey, let me check on that. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I'm not clear. That's not a great answer from a professional when someone's making a multi-$100,000 decision. I'm a big believer in giving a printed itinerary with information from the MLS to your clients in order and stapled together. Hey, Nick and Michelle, here's the 3 homes we're going to look at today. I put them in order for you. Take a look. I'll walk you through when we get there. And then when you walk into the home, hey, this property at 123 Banana Street, it's been on the market 12 days. There's no offers in yet that I'm aware of. It's about 3,000 square feet. Looks like the basement's finished, so we'll want to make sure we check that out. And it looks like they got the master suite layout that you're looking for. That's such a much more professional way to show up, knowing all the information. And then when they ask, hey, what do you think of the price? You can say, here's what I know. The home up the street sold about 4 months ago for $500,000, and the home across the street just got listed and went pending in 5 days, and they were asking $525,000. So that gives us an idea where the most recent sales activity is in the neighborhood. That's the kind of prep work that's going to help you stand out as a buyer's agent. It maybe takes 15 or 20 minutes, but remember, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Mistake number 4, overpromising. Hey, I win multiple offer situations all the time. I'll get you the house. I've heard people say this and they don't get their client the house. That usually doesn't work out too well. So the way that you're promising things to people, it's never good in any business to overpromise. You want to give real information. The difference between a good agent and a great agent is a good agent, they sometimes tell people what they think they want to hear so they get hired. A great agent tells people all the news with the right advice and goes over all their options so they need to hear that to get the home that they want. You never want to leave something to chance when you're bidding on a property. So make sure you're being clear and concise and not overpromising and presenting all the options. Then it's up to the buyer to decide whether or not they want to move ahead with it. Mistake number 5, not giving feedback to the listing agent. This is another disrespectful item. One, giving feedback, someone let you into their home. The least you can do is tell them what the buyer thought about the property. Not giving feedback it's just something that it rubs sellers the wrong way. And remember, these people are letting you into their home, and it also makes it more difficult for the listing agent. I'm a big believer in cooperating agents. And when you do things like not leave feedback, well, then that feedback is usually getting sent to the seller. It's actually a great way to communicate because the listing agent sees it. And then also, typically the seller is going to see it. And maybe you have a listing agent that's not responsive. And if you leave feedback that says, hey, I left a message, we're trying to put together an agreement of sale and I have some questions for you, or we've got a lot of interest, we plan to write an offer by the end of the day. Well, if that goes to the seller, which most agents will send the feedback directly to their seller, then what ends up happening? That puts pressure on the listing agent. So it's a smart move and a strategic move that a lot of buyers agents don't do. Leaving feedback to me is a courtesy. It's a professional thing to do. And a lot of agents just skip giving feedback because they think they're too busy to do it. That's mistake number 5. Mistake number 6, not following the showing instructions. Sellers ask things like, take your shoes off, use booties, make sure to lock all the doors, don't let the cat out. This is all stuff we've heard. Most agents never read these showing instructions. They don't pay attention. They don't see the emails that come through from showing time because they don't think it's important. And one, it ends up ticking off the seller. And remember, you're trying to come to an agreement with these people. And 2, there may be something important you need to know in there. Like, hey, could you leave the lights on because we have more showings throughout the day and we don't want to turn them on and off? That's actually pretty relevant. And when you follow showing instructions, remember, you're going into someone's house and it's really important to listen to them so you can eventually come to an agreement. And it leads me to mistake number 7, which is not following the offer instructions. There are things like ideal settlement dates, response time frames, important things about inclusions and exclusions, the documents you need to submit an offer. And some agents, I've gotten offers that are just an agreement of sale with no financial backing. I've gotten ATM receipts as proof of funds. I've seen all sorts of stuff, or there's mistakes in the paperwork, which we'll get into in a second. But if you don't follow the offer instructions, again, you're forcing the issue here and you might upset people. Remember, you're dealing with another person on the other side of the transaction. And when you can remove emotion and follow the process, it's going to go a long way. A lot of issues could be avoided with items 6 and 7 just by reading the MLS comments, just by reading the offer instructions that are posted on the MLS and that are probably emailed to you when you set up the showing. These are easy things people can do. So just by following the instructions, you can make your client appear to be a better fit to work with the buyer. Mistake number 8, sloppy paperwork. So many agents, they don't know what docs are needed. They make mistakes in the agreement of sale that could cost their client a lot of money, and they just don't fill out the paperwork properly. I'm talking about things like sending an agreement of sale over without any supporting documentation. I've seen ATM receipts as proof of funds. Well, that could be anybody's. Pictures of bank statements with nobody's name on there. I don't accept any of those. Neither do our clients. It could be anybody's. So when you see the paperwork being presented properly, or you've got all the documents in order, you have the right response time in there, everything's listed properly, the agency disclosures are correct, you're showing the other agent, you're showing the seller that you're a professional. Remember, everyone's going to present offers differently. I use a summary sheet. Other people just send over the agreements. And you get someone that's very thorough and they say, well, this agreement's all screwed up. I don't know if we can trust this person. that could cause you to lose a sale, right? That's what we're talking about here. All these mistakes can kill deals. They make you look like an idiot sometimes to your clients or to the other agent or to the seller. You never know where your next piece of business is going to come from. And that leads me to mistake number 9, which is just lack of professionalism. This is a professional job. Professionals communicate in a certain way. They show up a certain way. It's not rolling out of bed, showing at home in sweatpants and a t-shirt. I wouldn't want that from my attorney or my dentist or my doctor or even the pilot to a plane I'm flying. Why is that okay for real estate agents? Presenting at a higher level, communicating a certain way. Professionals communicate in certain ways, and how you talk to people, it is shocking to me what people say. I see text messages where they're spelled out like children. Hey, give me 2 minutes to talk to you, and then you're on a 15-minute phone call. That's not what professionals do. They set clear expectations. A bunch of emojis, or saying, hey, there's really important stuff here, I promise you, or writing with 10 exclamation points when you respond to someone's text message. That's not a professional way to communicate. Think about how you want to be communicated to in a transaction and return that favor, return that professionalism to your clients. Now, look, I unloaded a lot here, and there's going to be some people that are not going to like this video, and that's okay, because your market share is going to be taken by the people that follow this advice. So write down these 9 mistakes, avoid them, maybe change how you're doing business, and I guarantee you it's going to increase your close rate, your offer acceptance rate, and help your business in a big way for the long term.